Welcome to Teaching Truth. My name is Glenn Cartwright. We are reading the letter that Paul sent to the church at Corinth in our reflections this week. His second letter, and we're looking particularly at the 4th chapter of that letter, where Paul encouraged the Corinthians not to lose heart. Paul's words are no less true for us 2,000 years later. We are not to lose heart. And today in our reflections we want to think about not losing heart over friends and family. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verses 4 to 6 says this: "The God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers, so that they cannot see the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. For we do not preach ourselves, but Jesus Christ as Lord, and ourselves as your servants for Jesus' sake. For God, who said, 'Let light shine out of darkness,' made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Christ." This passage is to do with spiritual blindness. And you know, one of the saddest things that many of us face is when family and our friends don't love Jesus in the way that we love Jesus. And as a result, we can lose heart. And in these verses, spiritual blindness is spelt out very, very plainly. And people often self-diagnose themselves by choosing what to fill their minds with or fill their hearts with, or what they choose to watch or read. To quote the Yorkshire proverb, "There are none so blind as those who will not see." And in these verses we're given the cause as well as the cure for spiritual blindness. The cause is that the God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers to keep them from seeing the truth of the gospel. Satan doesn't want people to be cured. But the cure in verse 6 is a great one. God has shone his marvellous light into our hearts. As the prophet Isaiah said, "The people walking in darkness have seen a great light." And when the light is switched on in people's hearts, spiritual blindness disappears. Remember the words of John Newton: "I once was blind, but now I see." So pragmatically, what should we do in relation to family and friends who are spiritually blind? Well, what we shouldn't do is lose heart, but rather keep praying to the Lord to shine his light, as the passage alludes to, through us. And to do, I think, 3 practical things. Firstly, to try and walk in their shoes spiritually. In praying for them, try to imagine what they will be doing, and also to ask the Lord if it's something in us that's maybe preventing them from seeing the light. Secondly, not just to walk more closely, but to listen more carefully to their genuine questions, to ask for patience and grace, and to be willing to engage in honest conversation with them. To walk, to listen, but also to perhaps pray more compassionately, that the lost son and the lost sheep will, as it were, see sense and come home. You see, we are the 5th gospel. When people find it difficult to read and to understand Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, they maybe don't find it as difficult to read us. Our lives have the capacity to shine brightly for Jesus when the word perhaps bypasses their mind and their heart. Before we even open our mouth, by our lifestyle, does Christ speak in terms of radiating from us? I saw Jesus in my late grandmother. I saw Jesus in my parents. I saw Jesus in my Sunday school teacher. I saw Jesus in my youth leader. Their lives shone through. Dare to believe that your life can shine for Jesus, just like the chorus we used to sing years ago in Sunday school. Jesus bids us shine with a clear, pure light, like a little candle burning in the night. In this world of darkness, we must shine. You in your small corner, and I in mine. For God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Christ. Jesus bids us shine with a clear, pure light. And in this world of darkness, we must shine. And when we do that, who knows what God might well do through us. And that's, I believe, a very good reason not to lose heart.